Hey food lovers! Today we're diving into a topic that might just change the way you organize your kitchen forever. I'm talking about sauces, those glorious flavor enhancers that can elevate a dish from mundane to magnificent. But here's a question. Am I storing this stuff correctly? It's a culinary conundrum that plagues many a home cook. We've all been there, haven't we? One person swears ketchup belongs in the fridge, another insists the cupboard is its rightful domain. Proper storage isn't just about taste or texture. It's about food safety, preventing spoilage, and ensuring you're getting the best and safest experience from your condiments. Have you been storing your sauces in the right place? Let's find out. By the end of this, your kitchen will be a beacon of organizational and food safety prowess. Mayonnaise. That glorious, creamy, and indispensable emulsion that graces our sandwiches and binds our salads. But with great creaminess comes great responsibility. Where does it belong once opened? Pantry or fridge? The verdict: once opened, your jar of mayonnaise must reside in the refrigerator. It keeps that creamy texture just right and ensures safety. So let's make a packed opened mayo lives in the chill zone. Your stomach will thank you. Pesto. That vibrant sauce, a symphony of basil, garlic, pine nuts, parmesan, and olive oil. But once opened, it can harbor hidden dangers if not stored properly. Nuts in pesto can develop mold, producing aflatoxins, potent liver toxins. Always refrigerate open pesto to inhibit mold growth and keep it safe. Salad cream, a tangy, yellow-hued condiment, beloved in the UK. Thinner and more vinegary than mayonnaise, it graces sandwiches, salads, and chips. But where should it be stored after opening? To ensure quality and safety, always refrigerate after opening. Maple syrup, the liquid amber nectar tapped from the majestic maple tree, a true gift from nature. Its unique, complex flavor elevates breakfast items to culinary experiences. But storing it in the pantry can lead to an unappetizing surprise. Even with high sugar content, it can support mold growth in warm, humid conditions. Store your opened maple syrup in the refrigerator to keep it pristine and delicious. Tartare sauce, that zesty, creamy, pickle and caper-studded accompaniment, the quintessential partner to fried fish, seafood cakes, and a delightful dip for many a fried delight. Its tangy, chunky character is what makes it special. However, its occasional use status can sometimes lead to it being forgotten, and its ingredients demand careful storage consideration. The base is typically mayonnaise or something very similar, meaning it inherently contains egg. And as we've established with mayonnaise and salad cream, the presence of egg, even pasteurized egg, is a significant flag when it comes to food safety after opening. The other delightful components, chopped pickles, capers, herbs, perhaps a dash of lemon juice or vinegar, add flavor and some acidity, but they don't negate the primary concern posed by the eggy base. The primary defense against the premature demise of your tartare sauce is, you guessed it, refrigeration. The cold, consistent temperature inside your fridge is your best ally in slowing down the growth of any bacteria that might have been introduced after opening. So, the rule is simple and unwavering. Tartare sauce, once its seal is broken, belongs in the fridge without exception. When in doubt, throw it out. It's better to be safe than sorry, especially when dealing with egg-based condiments. Redcurrant jelly, that jewel-toned, tartly sweet condiment, often served alongside roast lamb, game meats, or even incorporated into desserts and glazes. Its vibrant color and piquant flavor provide a wonderful counterpoint to rich dishes. Like many jellies and jams, it boasts a high sugar content, which traditionally acts as a preservative. However, redcurrant jelly, and indeed some other similar fruit jellies, can have a peculiar vulnerability that necessitates a cooler abode after opening. The exact sugar-to-water ratio is critical, and some jellies, including redcurrant, might not always hit the absolute fail-safe mark for room temperature stability once opened and exposed to the elements. Over time, particularly if the jar isn't perfectly sealed after each use, or if there are temperature fluctuations, a minuscule amount of water can separate and collect on the surface of the jelly. This diluted surface layer, with its increased water activity, becomes a much more hospitable place for mold spores to germinate and flourish. Therefore, to safeguard your redcurrant jelly from becoming a mold's playground, the refrigerator is its designated sanctuary post-opening. The cold temperature will significantly inhibit any potential mold growth, even if that slight water separation occurs. Keep it cool, and it will continue to add that perfect tangy sparkle to your meals. Ketchup, that sweet, tangy condiment for burgers and fries. But where should it be stored? Fridge or pantry? Its ingredients make it shelf-stable. For best quality, refrigerate after opening. Brown sauce, that uniquely British concoction, is essential to a full English breakfast. Its flavor comes from fruits, molasses, vinegar, and spices. Perfect for bacon sandwiches and sausages. But does it need refrigeration? Or can it stay in the cupboard? Vinegar and sugar preserve it well, so it's safe at room temperature. Keep it in the pantry with confidence. Honey, that golden viscous sweetener, a product of diligent bees and fragrant blossoms, has been cherished by humankind for millennia. Not just for its delightful taste, but also for its remarkable, almost magical, preservative qualities. We've found pots of honey in ancient Egyptian tombs that are reportedly still edible after thousands of years. This begs the question, if it can last that long in a pharaoh's pantry, surely it doesn't need my refrigerator, right? The secret to honey's eternal shelf life lies in a fascinating combination of factors. Firstly, it has an incredibly high sugar content, typically around 80%, mostly fructose and glucose. This creates an extremely high osmotic pressure. Secondly, honey is naturally acidic, with a pH typically ranging between 3.2 and 4.5. This acidity is another major hurdle for microorganisms. Given these remarkable properties, storing honey in the refrigerator is not only unnecessary, but can actually be detrimental to its texture. So, the best place for your honey is in a cool, dry cupboard, tightly sealed to prevent it from absorbing ambient moisture or odors. Mint sauce, that sharp, sweet, and intensely minty condiment, the classic British accompaniment to roast lamb, and a surprisingly versatile ingredient in dressings and marinades. Its vibrant green hue and invigorating aroma can cut through the richness of meats and add a burst of freshness to any dish. The primary ingredient in traditional mint sauce, aside from the mint itself and a bit of sugar, is vinegar, often malt vinegar or spirit vinegar. And as we've learned, vinegar is a formidable preservative. For this reason, an opened bottle or jar of mint sauce can often be safely stored in a cool, dry cupboard for a considerable period. However, if you know you're not going to use it up within a few weeks, or if you simply want to ensure it stays at its absolute zesty best for as long as possible, popping it in the refrigerator certainly won't do it any harm, and can provide an extra layer of quality assurance. The cold will further slow down any potential, though unlikely, microbial activity and help retain its vibrant character. Cupboard is fine, fridge is also fine, especially for the long haul. Pickles. Whether we're talking about pickled onions, gherkins, piccalilli, or a chunky mixed pickle like Branston, these tangy, crunchy, and often pungent condiments are a delight. They add a much-needed acidic kick and textural contrast to sandwiches, cheese boards, and plowman's lunches. The very name pickle implies preservation, as pickling is an ancient method of extending the lifespan of foods, typically using brine, salt water, or vinegar. Once opened, the story remains largely positive for cupboard storage. The acidic and/or salty environment within the jar continues to do its job of keeping most unwanted guests at bay. As long as the pickles remain submerged in their pickling liquor, the vinegar or brine solution, they are generally well protected. However, there's a critical human factor that can compromise even the best preserved pickle cross-contamination. If you repeatedly dip a used knife or fork into the pickle jar, you're essentially introducing foreign material and potentially a host of new microorganisms. Therefore, while pickles are generally fine to be stored in the cupboard after opening, the golden rule is impeccable hygiene. If you're prone to utensil-related mishaps or prefer an extra layer of caution, the fridge won't hurt them either. Olive oil, the heart of many healthy diets and delicious dishes. From robust extra virgins for drizzling and dipping to lighter varieties for cooking, it's a kitchen essential. Store it correctly to preserve its flavors and health benefits. Olive oil has three main enemies: light, heat, and oxygen. Good quality olive oil is often sold in dark glass bottles or opaque tins. Store it in a cool, dark place. So there you have it, the definitive guide to where you should be storing your favorite sauces and condiments. We've journeyed through the creamy depths of mayonnaise, navigated the nutty nuances of pesto, and even settled the age-old